feel like I need fireworks and confetti guns.
Oh my God, we're live.
We are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the MAMM live virtual info session. I'm very excited to be broadcasting here in Vancouver and on the traditional unceded territories of the Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Squamish nations. And we're very blessed to be able to work and live and play here. And I'm very happy this evening that I am joined with my creative producers. I would like to introduce you to Shantini. Above me, Justin, who is in charge of the vertical series, and Ritisha. And we're very excited to talk to you about MAMM 21, our 21st year. And we thank everybody who actually came out in the beginning of May to our launch party. And we are here tonight to hang out and also to answer questions and to tell you what MAMM is if you actually missed our in-person info session. And we are here to share a presentation, but also to answer questions. And there will be tips on how to pitch, because it is now open and it will end very soon. So listen up, and I will be very excited to pass it on to my friends here when we go through the presentation. But first of all, I'm just so excited. My name is Lynn, by the way, and I'm the director and producer of MAMM. I have had the privilege of seeing MAMM grow and also see a lot of new faces come through each year. And I'm just so grateful that I get to witness so many Asian and Pan-Asian creatives share their stories and their voices and make their films come true through our competition. So I would like to go to our first slide and let you know that without our founders, there would be no MAMM. And 21 years ago, Barbara Lee, who's the founder of VAF as well, and Peter Leung co-founded MAMM. And today we have a brand new team who is helping us with the platform. And I'm very excited. You have met some of them, Shantini, Ritisha, and Justin, but we also have Regina Liang, who is hiding in the background helping us do this broadcast, and she's amazing. And also Tammy, who couldn't join us today. She's also part of the creative producing team. And Stephen, who is also not free today, is also part of the vertical series team. And if whenever you write in to ask questions, you will be writing to Eunice, who is our MAMM admin. So this is our wonderful team, and I am very excited. They actually do a lot of things, so I don't have to. So I would like to now pass on the platform to Shantini to introduce what is MAMM.
Hi, everyone. If you're not familiar with MAMM, MAMM is the Mighty Asian Movie Making Marathon, which is a 10-day filmmaking competition, which happens here in Vancouver, but it's open nationwide. And the goal is to foster emerging Asian and mixed Asian filmmakers, storytellers, producers, creatives, and offering them an educational experience through our MAMM mentorships, but also an opportunity to showcase their work at our MAMM Gala at the end of August to showcase their work to a wider audience and potential distributors. And we have 3 categories of films which you can pitch to in MAMM. So we have our 10-minute short films, which we select 8 finalists for. And the way you can pitch is by submitting a 3-minute pitch video. And we also have our 1-minute ultra short films, which we also select 8 finalists for. And the way to pitch is by submitting a 3-page pitch document. And then we have our 10-minute vertical series, which we select 3 finalists for. And the same as the 10-minute shorts, you submit a 3-minute pitch video to pitch. And I'm passing it on to Justin to tell us more about Vertical Series, because that's something we launched. Or actually, before that, we're going to do highlights.
Yes, because there are a lot of things that MAMM is bringing, and we want you to know like the most exciting things about the competition. So first and foremost, you get cash if you get in. And we also have a lot of in-kind trade support for each of the 10-minute and 1-minute and vertical series teams. So for 10-minute shorts teams, you receive $1,000 if you become a finalist. And also for the ultra shorts, you get $150. For vertical teams, you get $500. And you also get a MAMM mentorship program for all the finalists. And so you get to enter a workshop and participate. And also each team is assigned a mentor who will guide you through the competition process and help you throughout the entire production period. You must submit your pitch and application on Film Freeway. So we are using the Film Freeway platform now to make it easy. And we have over $50,000 worth of in-kind prizes and cash awards awarded to people who win awards during the gala, screening gala and awards presentation. And we also will be telling you about a new award category that we're launching this year. Very excited. And this is donated by our VAF lifetime benefactor, Leon Ng, who's been a longtime VAF supporter and also a former MAMMer from, in fact, MAMM 1, the first year. So MAMM Award winners automatically also become official selections of the Vancouver Asian Film Festival. So your film, if you win an award at the gala, you will get to be screened in November at the festival. And we are nationwide, so we welcome Canadian teams from across the nation to participate and join. And we have had teams from Toronto actually join MAMM at the gala and have their final films screened. So we are also offering student discounts. So please, you will find out how you will get the discounts very soon. And this year, what's new is we have an iMAMMDB, which is a very cool database where you can look for any cast and crew, and you can self-submit your information for people to who's looking for a cast and crew to find you, and you can put your information on there. It's a very handy Google sheet. And also, we're excited that a number of casting directors will be working with us, who will be able to help you on a first come first serve basis to help you do your casting. So we're constantly trying to offer more resources and more help for our participants and hope that will help you in your production process this year. Next. There you go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us here today. So just some more information about the newer vertical series that was added to MAMM for the first time last year that I had the pleasure of submitting to and participating in. In terms of distribution...
And winning.
Oh yes, there's that too. And in terms of distribution, so just to clarify things, if there's any questions, because of course verticals are this kind of new format that doesn't fit as well within a theater. So all projects will premiere online via Instagram. And so Instagram meaning you can post it on your own account or an account you make for the show. And also it will be in collaboration with MAMM. So MAMM and VAF also have their own Instagram accounts and followings. And we are going to use the collaboration feature to share our audience reach, essentially. So again, the main release platform for verticals will be through Instagram. Verticals will not screen officially at the gala like they did last year. Audiences will be directed during the gala and during all of our marketing to view your series online, because we want to direct all the traffic to your accounts to your online following. So if you've already got an online following or you're just starting one, we're continuing to direct all the traffic there to coalesce everything in one place. In terms of judging criteria, so online marketing is no longer the strongest evaluator. Last year, if any of you watching were either part of the process or heard about it, there were metrics like view count and like likes. And the shift we're doing this year is more to focus on the format of telling stories in a vertical format. So we're judging more based off of the execution of the story and if it fits within this vertical medium, like this, this paintbrush of the vertical compared to a horizontal film. And there will still be things like audience voting, but they will be evaluated less than execution of story, execution of the vision. And so we're focusing heavily onto story and worrying less about all the marketing that's around it. That's something that we're going to try to tackle in future years. And so for all of the detailed information, again, you can read it on the info package on the MAMM website as well. And then, of course, for awards and opportunities, there will be the Best Vertical Award that's presented at the gala. And then, of course, there's prize money and then developmental opportunities. So we're working on some exciting interviews and meetups that you would have with companies that are currently working in the vertical space. I think that's about it.
All right, so MAMM is so unique because every year we have a different theme. And actually the creative element for MAMM this year even reflects the VAF theme of the year. And the VAF theme is VAF at 30, which celebrates the milestone legacy of VAF and storytelling together. And basically for the creative element, you have to incorporate that into your submitted film as well as your video or written pitch. And it's also going to be a part of the judging criteria in how creatively that element is incorporated and how the theme or the plot is relevant in the integration of the element in the final film as well, if you get selected to make it. So the theme for this year is reflections and reinvention. And this is open to interpretation, however you want to incorporate that into your film. The way that we understood it is that we aim to commemorate where we're headed by understanding where we came from, because not only have we been shaped by our individual past, but also from the steps taken by those before us who have paved the way for our present and futures. And regardless of what came before, we can choose not to be defined by it. Every generation, filmmakers have continuously shaped and redefined their lived experiences, transforming what was given to them and integrating it into their own expression and environment. And we want to join VAF 30 this year in celebrating all that brought us to who we are today and where we're going tomorrow. So do with this what you will for your film pitches. And I think we can go on to the next.
Okay, so eligibility, because it is the Mighty Asian Movie Making Marathon, at least one of your key creative members must identify as a person of Asian or part Asian heritage. So any team that does not have at least one of these creative members would be disqualified. And so when we're talking about creative members, we're talking about the writer, director, producer, those key core three. If I'm correct, Lynn, those are our key creative members. And then at least one lead actor, because we also care deeply about representation on screen as well as off. Appearing in the final film must be of some kind of Asian heritage. So all key creative members, and then one lead actor. And then finally, a Canadian resident, or you have to be a Canadian or a permanent resident at the time that you submit your application. So yeah, and I guess I'll just note here, I'm seeing the note that there can be special exemptions for the Canadian and PR elements. So just email MAMM if you're like really gunning to apply, but you don't quite have your PR yet. There's things that can be discussed by case basis. So, yeah.
And at our screening and gala presentation, we have awards. And so we have awards for 10-minute shorts and 1-minute ultra shorts, which include Best Film, Best Director, Best First Time Director, Best Performance, Best Screenwriting, Best Cinematography, the People's Choice Award for Best Overall Short, the People's Choice Award for Best Performance, and our new award this year, which is Best Editing. Yay! We also have an award for vertical series, which is the People's Choice Award for Best Vertical Series. And additional to this, we have cash prizes, in-kind prizes, and in-kind sponsorships to assist with production costs. So stay tuned.
All right, so key dates. Feel free to take a screenshot of this. It will also be on the website and in the info package. And one thing I also wanted to clarify for all of you pitching is that we don't need a script submitted for your pitch, because that's actually going to come after mentorship, and that's when you submit a script. So the only thing you need to pitch is what was specified for each category, which was either the written pitch or the video pitch. And yeah, more dates to screenshot.
Okay, and so we had our early bird submission period, which ended on May 11th. So if you're pitching next year, keep in mind to look out for the early bird deadline. But we do have our regular submission period from May 12th to June 2nd, and all submissions close on June 2nd. And this is like the pricing for 10-minute shorts, 1-minute ultra shorts, and vertical series. And like we mentioned earlier, we do have a student discount, and we do have student rates all throughout submissions. So please email us at mamm@vaf.org, and we'll be able to provide you with a student discount if you can send us your student ID. So yeah.
All right. And we would love to invite you to join the Mamily. And we have information that you can access in multiple channels, for example, on our webpage, which is at the vaf.org website/MAMM. You can also find us on Instagram, a dedicated MAMM account at MAMM_VAF, as you can see on the screen, and also VAF social media on Instagram, Facebook, and you can go on at VAF Vancouver, and even on YouTube, where some of you might be watching at the moment. So definitely scan these QR codes. And if you have a question, write to our MAMM admin, Eunice, at this email address, mamm@vaf.org. So that's pretty much the overview of MAMM, and we would love to answer questions. And we thought we would take some questions at the moment, and then some of our former MAMMers who have become our producing team will give you some tips on how to pitch. So let's see if we have any callers who have sent in questions. I do know that there were some questions that came through Instagram, and don't know if there would be questions coming through at the moment. So let's see. Are we going to display any questions, or we will? Okay, we are reading out questions. Okay. So do we allow acting on multiple shorts? So I could answer that question. So we have had folks, actors act in different MAMMs, but as policy, we ask that the actor only acts as a lead in one film. We highly recommend actors not act in multiple films, because it really does become a scheduling nightmare for the different teams, and because everybody will be shooting, pretty much on the same days. So unless you can really work out, like, this person is going to be acting on day one, and then you're only needed for day two, for example, that's entirely up to you. But no lead actors can appear as a lead in a different film. So do we have questions? Yeah.
We had another question from Instagram where somebody asked if they're allowed to submit more than what is required with their pitch. So, for example, they said they wanted to submit like a pitch video for a 10-minute ultra short. And if they can also submit like additional details, images, references, and also a 3-minute pitch deck, which we don't require. And I guess the answer to that is we wouldn't have the time or resources to look over all of those details because the criteria that we're asking for is just the pitch video. So we're only going to be judging your pitch video based off of the video itself, nothing else.
Yeah. And to add on to that, like you can always integrate like images that you want inside your pitch video on top of like while you're speaking. iMovie, guys. iMovie.
Another question that we get all the time is about the Canadian citizenship and also a PR status. There are people who are applying for PR or who's here on a student visa or a work permit. So we do assess things case by case, and the competition does support Canadians telling Canadian stories, but if majority of the team are Canadian and your story is Canadian story, exemptions can be made. So please come talk to us if you have a special case or have questions about that.
Okay, I see my friend is asking me one question. They're asking if they're allowed to pitch in. They're asking if they're allowed to submit as many pitches as they would like.
Mm-hmm. The answer is unfortunately no. You are allowed to pitch in different categories. Like you can submit one pitch for each category. A short, ultra short, or a vertical, but you cannot submit more than one pitch to one category. We don't want people to like hedge their bets and try to it doesn't work. Like if you submit more, you have higher chance. No, it doesn't work that way. We want you to focus and really choose like which is your best pitch and what is the story that you really, really want to get made and get told, and do your best job to sell that idea.
Awesome. And
other questions? You guys, any other questions that you see?
Question would be that a lot of people talk about their team members in their pitch video. Are people allowed to be attached to multiple pitches as like producers and writers or directors? Because at this point they don't know which one of them is going to get in.
Yeah, that's a really good question. We also don't encourage that for key roles, especially producer, writer roles. Definitely not.
Yeah, you can't be a key role on multiple films, like once they get selected.
Mm-hmm.
Especially once you get selected. But the question is during pitch. We also don't encourage that. If there are, if you have questions, come to us about specific roles. Yeah. So, okay. I think
we had a question about AI usage at the pitch or the final film.
Okay. Do you want to take that? Do you want me to take that?
I believe it was 10%, right? Max 10% of the film can have AI or stock footage.
So yes. So basically, as the world evolves, we're all learning to live with, work with AI because we do know that it's not going away, and we do acknowledge that it is a very useful tool to help us, get to our final product. But we really encourage people to, well, first off, you must declare your AI usage, and if we notice that you might have used AI, but it was not declared, that would not be good. But we also allow AI usage, but encourage you and limit only use no more than 10% of your film with your generative AI specifically. Yeah, and other
Should
questions?
we clarify about the pitch too? AI usage in the pitch.
Yeah, again, it's about declaring any AI usage. And I would say the rule applies to pitches as well. You shouldn't use more than like 10% of 3 pages of your ultra short pitch and 10% of your 3-minute video.
Yeah, I would say if there's like a really specific concept
Yeah.
you want to draw that you can't find with like film references, then it could be fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a question here. Who owns the film after the film gets made?
That's an excellent question. You do. So we do not executive produce. MAMM's goal is to be a platform to help you make your film, and we want to be here to help you make the best film possible for you. We do ask you to credit MAMM, and you will get specific instructions on, including our logos on your film, and we will cheer for you, be very happy for you. But you own your own film.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Like animated films or documentaries, or what does MAMM want and what does MAMM not want?
Yep, we don't want documentaries. So we love documentaries. It's an amazing genre, but the competition is about people doing narrative films and stories, and it's also easier to judge from between narrative stories. So that's why we only accept narrative stories. We have had stop motion submissions in the past. We would love an animation. It's always hard to do in 10 days. We recognize that. And so that hasn't happened very much. Yeah, we welcome any stories. We want personal stories. Basically, this is your chance to express your voice and tell any story you want as creatively as you want.
Mm-hmm.
That is legal, and that does not that does not violate the Canadian Code of Conduct.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about like the 10 days, what kinds of work can be done before the 10 days?
You are so basically we our mentors are there also to help guide you through the script writing process. We would expect that the script is locked, and from day one, which is like midnight of July 17, you can start filming, but you're not allowed to film before that starting point, and you must complete your film, including all your post-production, and that copy. So basically, a locked film with all your music, everything, and credits to be submitted as your evaluation copy to the judges. We do allow, and we will give time between the end of competition and also the gala screening to do minor tweaks and improvements on effects on your film, but you are not allowed to touch your film or the lock cut in any way. It's really to embellish it because we realize 10 days is a very short time. So you're not allowed to do a new piece of music, but you can improve on sound effects, that kind of thing.
And I guess going off of what Lynn was saying earlier, with the question of what kinds of stories MAMM likes, I feel like if you've got a couple stories that you've got in your writing drawer and you're trying to pick which one to pitch, my recommendation would be to really hone into something that is extremely unique to your lived experience or your identity experience, and the like the harder it is for someone else to tell that story, the stronger it usually is. You know, like if you pick something that, like say broadly, a lot of you know, films that MAMM has got in the past is about like the identity struggle of being Canadian within an Asian background, and so that is a very broad thing that we've seen a lot before, and it's still, we need to continue seeing those stories, but you want to be as specific as possible to you, your upbringing, and what you've experienced to really hone in on a concept that is extremely unique to you. Those stories are always welcome. And yeah, I guess if we want to talk about more pitching tips, I think some just general things, technically wise or technically speaking, sound is extremely important. You know, you're pitching your story and your passion. If we can't hear you, it's going to be tricky for the judges to gauge how strong your pitch is. So, you know, if you're like newer to videography and filming, worry more about the sound in your editing than the visuals, I would say. Visuals are always great, and if you've got some flair to it, it can obviously catch the attention of the jurors. But the story and the passion are always going to trump any flair that you put into your pitch, is what I would recommend.
I also
Are those all your tips from Justin? That's all your tips that you're sharing today?
I've got more on this list that I can share. If I do, I can keep going. Sure.
No, so basically, yeah, we're now in the section of sharing pitch tips.
Okay.
So yes, I'm very excited. Yeah, Justin, who won the Vertical series last year. I want to echo what you said earlier. When you tell a unique story no one else can tell, Justin told a story about being a cadet, and yeah, it's his lived experience. Very cool. And Shantanu will also share, and she was also a winner with her 10-minute short film, Velvet Secrets, and this was 2024. Yes, 2024, correct. Yes, so she's going to share some tips as well. Ratisha, you were going to say something.
I was going to add on to the
Okay.
pitch stuff actually, but I can do that after you guys have share your stuff if there's anything else. Also, we do have a question, and I can answer that really quick. About casting the lead after you pitch. Of course, you definitely, casting can totally happen like after selection. Like that's why we also have casting directors now, and MAMM where actors will put in their information, and you can reach out to the casting directors that we have on board, and they can help with casting your film as well.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, thank you
Now
for
I'll
that
hand
question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we can hand it to Justin.
Awesome. Excited for Jared to pitch. He's worked on many MAMM films, I think, as a key grip and as a technician. So excited to see what he's done. And he's also produced a lot of great films. So excited for you, Jared. I guess just to continue on that casting note, I'm sure everyone's already heard this 1,000 times, but your job, if you're the director, like 80 to 90% is the casting, you know, in terms of the success of your film and the vision and how it'll be executed. So while we do have a wealth of casting resources to help you out if you get selected, I would always encourage submitters to start thinking about who they want to cast, especially as their lead. And if you don't have any actor friends or connections, start going out to see plays, start going out to readings, and start to like write down those actors that catch your eye, because you know a film is like a writer director's vision, but you know the audience is going to stay because the acting is solid. So my advice for acting specifically is to start curating and crafting those relationships with actors. earlier. Yeah.
I would also say that, like, you know, like, even if you have some talented friends, like, don't be afraid to, like, have that role be auditioned for and see, like, what other different interpretations there are, because you never know when someone's going to do an audition and it completely changes your perspective on that role.
Totally. Yeah. I think for the summer I found myself, if anyone has seen it, I'd already cast the lead. I'd approached her to do the project together. And then one of our side characters, Tremblay, the kind of oddball maverick character in the group, she was completely cast through Monica Dahlman, our casting director. And her audition tape was absolutely wild, and which fit perfectly within the character. So yeah, exactly. Like, curate your relationships, but also don't hesitate to shoot and try and see what else is out there. Okay, I guess just some other tips that I have. A good advice that I've gotten in the past is plot points is only like 25% or less of your pitch. You only have 3 minutes to, you know, get the jury on board with your vision, and you don't need to get too bogged down in the minutia of the plot, especially for the verticals or the 10-minute shorts, because of course they're a bit longer. Just, you know, highlight your inciting incident, climax, rising action, and the denouement. Like, you don't need to get into every single point along the graph. You want to focus 75% mostly on, like, why you're the person to make it, the reason you want to make it, and the passion behind it, and the theme, the thesis, the statement you're trying to say with the film is why someone will greenlight you over how well your plot structure is. So there's a kind of good way to approach how you film it, and then also how you edit the film, because there's how you edit it is where you're going to cut out all that extra stuff. You're always going to probably have more stuff than over 3 minutes. So focus on the passion there. And then ask your friends who have pitched before. You're welcome to reach out to me or any of your friends who've done pitches before. The more pitches you watch, the more you're going to curate, like, oh, that pitch really sold the story for me. And then another one, you're like, I didn't understand what they were trying to say. So watch many pitches, just like you watch many films to make a film. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of all I had. What is that?
That's cheering for you.
That extremely okay, cool. That was so strange. It was like very digital. So thanks, whoever pushed that button.
Award-winning filmmaker Justin Lee, everyone.
Cool. Shanti, take the baton.
So I guess to add to that, similar to what Justin said about like pitching, but also like the technical side of it, like one thing I like to do in my pitch videos is I always add subtitles and captions. It doesn't take long to do, but I think it goes a long way, because you don't really know what circumstances like the judges are watching the pitch video in. You don't know if they're watching it on their phone. I hope not. I hope they're not watching it on their phone, but you don't know if they're watching it on their computer, and maybe, you know, stuff's broken, headphones, no headphones. But I think it's nice to have captions and also visual references, like Justin said, because just speaking on like my own pitching experience, a lot of the stories I pitch are based off of my personal experience or culturally rooted moments, which people may not be familiar with. So for me, I find it really helpful to take clippings from like other films, videos, YouTube videos, just copyright-free stuff, or images, or even my personal photos from when I was younger, when I was doing those culturally rooted activities, and adding them in my pitch video so that people can get that instant sort of visual reference of what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to do. And I guess one other thing is, because your pitch video is only 3 minutes, you shouldn't be spending so much time talking about yourself and who you are and your accomplishments and what you've done before this, because anybody can pitch. MAMM is open to all sorts of filmmakers and at any stages. We encourage emerging filmmakers. We encourage people who haven't necessarily done these roles before. When I did my pitch video and when I submitted to MAMM, that was my first ever film outside of film school. So we really do encourage anybody to submit and anybody to pitch. Let's say you don't normally write or direct or produce. You're not normally in those key roles. It would be really awesome if you could take MAMM as a chance to take that leap and put yourself out there and pitch as a key role, especially if you've never done it before. But speaking on pitching, I think it's also really important to understand or write down sort of like the structure of your pitch video, like where you want to hook people. I always start with like a strong hook so that, you know, the viewer is instantly like interested, and they like one sentence that just explains what you're trying to say, and tonally what your film and what your pitch video is going to be. Like if you have the time and if you are kind of tech savvy, I would say like take the time to add those references, maybe a little bit of mellow, soft music if it's not too distracting. You know, you don't have to be as fancy, but these sorts of things, they do make you stand out. Obviously, at the end of the day, good story, good pitch is what's going to, you know, get you inside the competition. But these sorts of things definitely help with making you stand out and making your pitch more interesting. Feel free to like go all out. Like for my pitch videos, I always like to like dress up or you know, decorate my backdrop, use props, costumes, whatever I have at home that can really just sort of set the stage. And kind of through my pitch video, what I'm trying to establish, what I'm trying to convey is that these 3 minutes are set in the same world as my film itself. Like these 3 minutes live in that same space. So tonally as well. So if my film is like a comedy, my pitch is going to be more like upbeat and light and, you know, visually colorful and all that stuff. But let's say if my pitch or my story is more of like a tragedy, does it make sense to, you know, dress up all colorful and be all happy and upbeat? So if you can match your vibe and sort of match your film and really present your film as something like a whole package, I think that's a good advice that I've always followed.
Mm-hmm. I can also add a little bit, which is like, especially when it comes to pitching, what I personally love to see is like people having fun with it, you know? Like, I feel like a good way to look at that is, is your pitch simple and can you say it from your heart and express the exact same idea? Like, is your film simple enough for that? Because I feel like, especially with shorts, sometimes people tend to add so many elements, like this is happening and then this is happening, but you have 10 minutes. Highlight the main things of what is going to happen in your film and be able to explain that effectively. That's all that matters. Hi, Moha.
Love that sound effect. Thank you for those tips. And Ratisha joined us this year, and she's also produced a couple MAMMs in the past. So we're very blessed and lucky to have former MAMMers come back and join us to help producing on the MAMM team. Yeah, okay. So yes, other questions or thoughts? No more questions from our viewers.
Mohab says we're so cool.
For that comment. I really appreciate that.
Mohab, yes, you're so cool for that comment.
I just thought of two like small tidbits for the pitch video. One was kind of mentioned before, but those visual references, like a still from a film that you're referencing, it's a great way to hide a cut. Like if you don't record two cameras set up, or you only got like your FaceTime camera going, if you want that flow of a good edit, it's a great place to hide a cut between two takes. I do that quite a bit. Simple trick there. And then another one is make sure you get all of your like everything you said and everything, especially when you're talking about the passion behind the project and why now. If it's running long, you can always speed up the footage slightly as long as we can understand it. That is a little trick you can do to get everything you want in. So I think I'd recommend, instead of cutting, try to speed up a slower part of your talking just to get everything in. It's a little trick there as well.
I have one more hack, I guess I can add.
Ooh, yes.
Last time I filmed a pitch video, what we did is like right beside the camera, we installed like an app on my phone, which is sort of like a teleprompter, and we just had it play and finished filming the pitch video, and like it didn't take long for like the actual recording portion of the editing there. So I think there's so many like hacks ultimately your pitch is supposed to explain why you have to make the film. You're the person to make the film. So really focus on that.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to like get advice from I was just gonna say, don't be afraid to like work with your team, you know, like if you have producers on your team, friends even, like ask them for advice on your pitch video and polish it up as much as you can so you can send the best version of yourself.
Yes, for sure. And like the guys said, we want to see your passion. We want to know why you want to do this, and we want to see you excited about being able to get on the MAMM. So yeah, we look forward to your submissions on Film Freeway, and you have till June 2nd. Yes, and again, here's the QR code and the website, and you can find more information on there. I think if there are no more questions, I think we're gonna wrap it. And yeah, thank you so very much for watching, and we're excited again to see your pitches. Feel free to email us with questions and follow us on all our socials. Thank you, and have a great night. Enjoy the sun while it lasts. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.